Happy Wednesday!
Hello, hello.
We're actually here to do session 0. Oh gosh, my Twitch is talking to me. I didn't mean for that to happen. So yeah, happy Wednesday. We're doing Root, and I'm very excited.
We're
You
here.
may or may not be able to see that we're an
We're
animal
doing
onesie.
things. You don't have your hood up, so they don't know.
Sorry. I besmirched the name of the animal onesie. My apologies. There you go.
Yours has a better face than mine does.
It does. It's
Mine looks like
fluffy.
a cat, but it's not.
It's okay. We essentially all we know this is session 0, but we all picked our animals already for the purposes of I have to do character art. And so Kylie and I ordered onesies because we work out of the basement and the basement is cold. And this was my excuse to wear a
It's true.
onesie on a show.
Also, let me know how audio is throughout the thing. If something sounds weird, let me know. I have migrated all of our things over to OBS instead of Streamlabs. Um,
Making advances in the world, let me tell
I
you.
I figured it might run better because I want to be able to use Nightbot, especially for our Muppets game, and they are it doesn't work well. Streamlabs hates any kind of chatbot other than their own, and then their own. Nowhere online can you find how to do
Any of it.
a dice roll in the chat. I've
We've
looked
tried everything.
for a month. And the best it could give me is here's this link. So if you ask it to roll something, it'll post a link and you can click on it and then it'll open a new window and it'll give you the random number 1 through 20. And I was like, that's dumb. I hate that. Oh yay, Scott's here. Hi, Scott.
God, I don't have sessions, or I don't have Streamlabs cards made yet.
Yeah, you
I'm
can't
also
ruin
not
it
just
today,
I
Scott.
don't
Welcome in. Have a
I don't
wonderful
get
day
to
today.
I don't get to decide what's on it either, Scott. So I can't help you here.
Plus, Scott,
Check me in our next show, and
I
then
will say this, Scott made the funniest meme today.
it's great.
Um,
10 out of 10.
Funniest meme. I scared students at my job because I laughed so loud immediately the first time I saw it. Um, so good. If you're in the Discord, which here,
If you're not, here's a link.
go
Be
see
in
the
the
Discord.
Discord.
Oh crap! I forgot Streamlabs is in here. It's gonna double post everything. No.
It's all right.
I'll fix it later.
For I was gonna say for
Um,
tonight, you just get double
double the
the links to
fun.
Discord. It's fine.
Um, but yeah, so we're here. Root is new for all of for most of us. Mal and I got lucky enough. The beautiful Sarah Moore, who is part of the writing team for The Vanishing Lands, also does Gen Con TV on Fridays for Sarah's Table, and she invited us right around Gen Con last year to play a little two-shot of Root. It's really fun. It's just a beautiful system. It's based off the board game, which Ryan is very well versed in. He loves the
Loves
board
it.
game. And when all of the OGL stuff happened, Ryan dove into Root and just really liked it. And we were like, oh, you want to run some? Of course we will. I will be an animal again on Wednesdays because that's what we do on Wednesdays so far this year.
I didn't get to be I was Fudge, but I didn't get to be a true player character for that one. So I was like, yeah, I'll come be an animal. I like animals.
So yeah, so here we are. I hope you guys enjoy it. We're doing our session 0 today, just again to kind of show how the games work a little more, also to help introduce people to the system, and for those of you who are not necessarily well versed in other systems or well versed in playing in groups, this is kind of how you start a campaign. So we're trying to just bring more awareness to that, visibility to that.
Yeah.
Words aren't quite working in my brain.
It's an important conversation to have. A lot of shows just have it off camera. And so for some of our shows, we do it on camera, and some of it we do off, mostly depending on scheduling.
Scheduling and how complicated it is. Like our show that we've not announced yet that's going to be coming up after all of this is a very intense background, so we're not doing session 0s for that.
Where like we will do one just not streamed because there's a lot that's going into it. I need a lot of time with cast members to explain things I don't necessarily want the audience to know at the top. So that one won't be live. But for a show like this, you totally can. It's going to be really nice.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to kick us to our trailer. And then we're going to start session 0. So if you don't have a snack, grab a drink, get cozy. If you have a onesie, wear it because it's a onesie day.
It's going to be onesie Wednesdays over here, or just
Onesie
like
Wednesdays.
cuddly, cozy clothes Wednesdays. Whatever you got,
It's
whatever
gonna
you
be
enjoy.
a good time.
Some people feel suffocated in a onesie, and I understand that for you. So there you go.
I get it. What did I do? Oh, there it is. I'm trying to figure out all my Stream Deck buttons. I'm trying to utilize my Stream Deck better. I'm just trying to be better technically, and it's just a lot. I girl bossed a little too close to the sun today and spent a good time trying to quiet my brain, focusing on nothing but our streaming stuff. So we'll find out what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's our trailer. We'll see you in a minute. Bye. Yay.
Hi.
We're here.
Hello, friends. Can we be heard? This is always when the audio breaks. I'm just
I think
checking.
it all works.
Oh, fancy.
Oh, yes, it works.
Working
I just turned
audio
on the
right
stream.
off the bat?
Honestly, maybe the most successful stream we've ever had.
The girl
pretty good
bossing
start.
paid off.
We're doing great. Let me tell you.
We're gonna work on getting everyone onesies.
Yes,
We're
We
gonna
will be
work
getting-
on it.
we'll get one.
We'll
We're
mail
gonna
'em.
figure it out. Yes. It's
The
gonna be
beautiful
great.
thing about internet gaming is we can all be all over the place and come together.
Exactly.
The downside of that is that everybody's everywhere.
means that I can't go hand Jenna a onesie
I can't
right
just
now.
be like, here. Have
I would
this
literally
onesie."
just drop one at your doorstep, run away, and be like, "Hey Jenna, check at your front door." I give you no further explanation.
I'd be really impressed if you did.
Honestly, that'd be really cool of me, considering how far away you are. I'd be like, the whole trip to deliver one onesie and then run away.
That's what I'm saying.
I do have a lizard onesie somewhere, but I'm pretty sure I didn't get rid of it. But it doesn't really make sense because I'd have to jump between a whole bunch of different onesies.
No, you just
I mean,
wear
it's
one.
just like hood up and hood down. Like that's it. It's just, if it's one specific lizard, it's
one
hood up, and every
NPC
other
has the hood and the rest
down.
don't.
Why don't you make yourself like hats or headbands or something with the ears that you need?
That's
You
an
can do it
idea.
that way.
Oh,
Because I'm not very crafty.
I am
but I still
so
could
crafty,
probably
and
do
you
that.
We are
know I
so
will
crafty
mail
in this
you
house.
so many fancy
I have your
headbands.
address.
I'll wear them.
I know you.
I'm gonna just
I will
start
absolutely
making
do
while
that.
I'm making my burlesque costumes. I'm also gonna make you headbands,
And
and you're just
Okay.
even when we're not playing this game, you're just gonna get random packages of
I'll wear
just
cat ears for the rest of the channel.
fancy.
That sounds
Please
fun.
do.
It's a good time, man. I love it. I love having ears.
The new Ryan Mac staple. Cat ears. I dig it. I'm here for it.
I'll go get an adult foxtail.
You'll match her.
I have one.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's got one on the onesie.
I have a tail.
It's right there.
That's not the kind of
I know.
adult
I know
foxtail
what you're
know.
talking about.
I know what you're
I
getting
was
at.
trying to move on.
Too bad.
When has Ryan ever let us do that?
It's fair.
Okay, so let's talk about these critters because I want to talk about them.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I love
Let's
them
do it.
already dearly. These
That's
are
fair.
my children.
Okay.
I don't
Ryan.
know them, but I would kill
I
everyone.
was about to say, don't worry. They must be protected at all costs. Hey, Ryan Mac, tell me how to build one of these. It's been a long time.
So you start with the sort of creature you want to play as. I think you guys all have that figured out, but I did come up with an exhaustive list because that was really fun to do. I came up with like 24 different things,
And then I picked none of them, so I'm so sorry.
and that's also fine. That's cool with
I
me.
don't know if I actually picked off the list or not.
You did.
Hey, if you didn't, dope.
I did.
Look.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
You and Kylie both followed the rules, and I texted Brian and I was like, "Hey, this animal that's definitely not on there and is not a like normal woodland creature. Can I have this one?"
This one that only a few select people will know what it is.
Mhm.
Can I have this one?
Don't worry, it's just bunny adjacent. It's sort of bunny, but not
Just
bunny.
just
you
to
a
show
jackalope?
off Ryan's work.
I'm gonna be a Pika.
It's a little Japanese rabbit.
Yeah, it's a little Japanese rabbit. It's instead of like
Oh, like
long floppy
Pikachu?
ears. Yeah, it's what Pikachu is like based off
Yeah.
apparently, but you have like little short round ears like this. And it's
Real
it's just
cute.
a little Japanese bunny. And so I was like, I'm gonna be a little Japanese.
If you're in the Discord, I'm gonna share Ryan's list of animals he gave us.
Yes, please go look at this in
just
Discord because he sent this.
See the work he did. It's very extensive.
Oh, extremely. Ryan does nothing half-assed, and so every time we get a campaign with Ryan, it's just everything's
It's
right
so
there.
good.
He's like, "Here you go." I'm like, okay.
It's
Also,
so
since we haven't actually like talked about it on stream yet, what we're
Yes.
going to be, if you're in the Discord, look at the list and then guess what Kylie and I are because I'm
Yeah.
interested.
Like I said, I'm not on that list, so I don't feel bad saying that I'm a
Right,
Pika.
well,
but the
you
other
already said
two,
what yours was. It's
Yeah.
not on the list.
yeah, the two of them are not on there or are on that list somewhere. So feel free to go guess. Yeah, mine wouldn't have been easy to guess anyway. Like Kylie said, like maybe 3 people know what this is. I've always thought they were very cute though, which is why I was like, can I play one?
It's a good time.
It is. It's a very good time. I totally forgot where I put Twitch for a second, and I was like, why can't I see the chat?
Where
I'm in
did
the
it
wrong
go?
place.
Mama Cat, I will 100% make him a lizard hood made
A
of
sequin
sequins.
lizard hood.
It will be like a luchador mask.
I would love that, honestly. I think
have
that's exactly
so
what I'm
many
gonna do.
rhinestones. It's gonna be
I
a
would
good
bring
time.
down Jones and have her sit on my shoulder, but A, it's a little cold, and B, she would not sit on my shoulder the whole time.
That's fair. I
Fair.
always forget you have a giant lizard.
Yep, she's pretty cool.
What kind of lizard?
She's a bearded dragon.
I'm allergic to beardies.
Oh no,
Oh,
that
no.
sucks.
My
That's so sad.
sister had a couple, and my dad's family had a couple, and they're very cute, but it was a rough time.
Is it just
Oh
like
man.
like an oil or something with them?
It's like when they shed the like flakes,
Or
I
like
guess.
a dander type thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know people could be allergic to
To
lizards.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
supposed to be hypoallergenic, but I am a special snowflake.
You found a way
I
around.
get it. I get it.
I am a special snowflake. I love
get
it
it.
so much.
I chose a fox this go around, which I'm super pumped about. For my animal.
Oh, in comparison to you did play a raccoon last time, just for the
I
record.
did. That was the first
And then
time
she
I
played
got
a
to play a
raccoon in-
raccoon.
So saying that she played a raccoon in
And then I
Carbadium, and she's
did
like,
it
I can't
again.
play a raccoon again.
Ooh, Scott, that's a good one. That one was on my
I'm
list.
gonna be an otter. That's fair.
That was also on my list if I didn't do it. But I did immediately, I was like, Jenna may want to be an otter. So before we talked to you about it, I was like, I'm not going to pick till Jenna does because I think it'd be really adorable no matter what she picked. So I want Jenna to pick first.
Oh, interesting. I didn't actually even consider being an otter. At first, I thought about being a crow, and then I thought about being a lizard. But I'm a bat.
It's gonna be a good time.
It's going to be so cute. I'm so excited.
I almost chose an otter because I cry watching otter videos.
We went to the zoo and she cried in front of the otter exhibit.
No,
If
it's more than
penguins,
that.
oh,
Look,
I
that little
mentioned an
otter
otter
wizard.
NPC and you started
the
crying.
otter
He's
wizard! I
so
forgot about
cute.
that.
He's so cute. And he
She
was
immediately
like,
freaked
he
out.
has to use both of his little hands to turn the pages in the book because it was too big. And I love it so much.
Mhm. This is always the energy with otters in our house.
Oh,
Every time.
it was so cute. He was so tiny.
The one at the zoo had a strawberry toy sitting on him
Those
that he
were
was holding while he floated
gigantic
around.
otters.
It was
Those
like,
could have turned book pages with just one hand.
that's how we're comparing the size of otters.
I mean, the otters at the Pittsburgh Zoo are huge because they're not river otters. What are they?
I don't know, but they're
Sea otters?
big.
They may be sea otters.
They're like the size of a
big,
toddler.
like a small, like a small to medium sized dog. Like they're large. And he had a little rubber strawberry, and they were both sleeping, and he was just floating with the strawberry on his stomach the whole time. It was so cute.
One of the happiest days of her life, I guarantee it.
I went to the Memphis Zoo once when I was really little, and I don't remember a lot of it because I am originally from smack dab in southern Indiana in the Midwest. I love going to zoos. It was one of my favorite things we did when I was little. We'd go to a city for a day, and we'd go to the zoo, and it was my favorite.
I'm writing down
Okay,
everybody's
great.
everything so that way I don't forget for everybody's character art.
That's fair.
They're like zoos, but they're
I
climate controlled.
made a Notion table.
Nice.
I love it.
still
I
need
do
to
everything
learn-
in Notion.
I need to figure out Notion. It's too much for my brain.
No, it's so good.
I put
It's-
everything in. So good. I love it so much. Okay, so we've got a bat, a pika, and a fox.
And a sparkly lizard.
And a sparkly lizard in Ryan. I will absolutely make you DM art of a sparkly lizard. You think I won't?
All right,
Try
hit me.
Put it on there.
You won't find me
Ryan.
complaining.
I
Sparkly lizard.
fully believe this.
You just watch out. As soon as the three of ours
Light up
are
a
up,
little bit.
so is his.
Sparkly lizard.
Specifically sparkly. I have glitter brushes and I'm not afraid to use them. Okay, so next part of building a character, I assume we need more than just being an animal, although I will just roleplay as a pika for my whole life if you want me to. I need no other rules or guidelines. I just need to be
Nothing
a pika.
else. Just
not a thing.
animal.
Just animals.
Yeah, so then you'll pick out your playbook, which you want to get your class functionally.
No.
Although it's more flexible than that, but still.
I have all of mine
Sure.
over here, so if I'm like looking off camera, please
Yeah,
know I'm not
mine's-
ignoring the
mine's
screen.
on the screen over
my
here.
playbooks are over here.
A
I constantly
pika
have everything
is
everywhere.
a small Japanese rabbit. Let me find a cute little.
They have like round ears instead of long ears. They're like this
They're
because this is a
super
pika lefty.
cute.
They're like this, and they're really small, and they like burrow and such.
They're like
for,
a
like,
rabbit / mouse
Yeah,
type.
it's like
thing.
somewhere between somewhere between a field mouse, and a rabbit, which is like so cute to me. So I was like, okay.
Are you doing the Is it Ili pika?
I think so.
The one that's a little more floofy.
the floofy one.
Yeah, the American pika looks a little more mouse-like.
I'm doing the floofy version.
Here we go.
This is about cute,
I
cuddly
found
critters.
A link. There we go. Scott's coming for you, man.
Look, me and Jenna are friends. The bat and the pika are friends. There will be no trying to murder me in this game. I refuse.
Basically, yeah, 5 foot Latina. It's kind of like playbook is like what gives you your abilities as your character. With this, there are optional rules that we're totally going to use because they sound fun. Where different being a different species can also influence what you can do
Let
Cool.
me.
because it makes sense to me.
Is there?
That's exciting
But
because I
yeah, it's
don't think we
basically
did that one. So for that, am I just going to use like bunny stats? I suppose
you could.
because
We can be
okay,
flexible about it.
Um.
okay.
Let me see if I can. Here we go. Okay. Here's the one that I'm leaning toward. We're gonna disappear for a second. We're still here, but it's gonna cover this. So,
Mhm.
for example, I'm leaning toward the Tinker. Um,
Yes. Good.
so the way they've got these separated is each one is about a two. I don't know why I'm miming. You can't see me. It's about 2 pages is a playbook. So you basically just go through and you're choosing over here like out of the choices. It also gives you the option to kind of come up with your own. Um, but you'll pick your species, the look, your demeanor. Um, it helps you with your background on like the different factions in the world. How did you become a vagabond is always a big one, because all of the animals in Root are vagabonds. And then, so
All
the first
players.
page is kind of, you're right, sorry. Um, the first page is your background, and then the second page is where you kind of pick your things. So you've got your stats that you flesh out. It gives you, depending on your class, it gives you kind of your presets in your stats, and then you get to add a plus one to it. For me, I get to add a plus one to a stat of my choice to a max of 2 on this, so I'll just adjust one of those. um, there are drives that come into play that you get to pick from. You get to pick your weapons, skills, and then moves, which a lot of this is powered by the apocalypse, right?
It
You
plays
said
the
that.
same.
It's very similar if you've ever played any Powered by the Apocalypse. But the cool thing is, because like this is like Thirsty Sword Lesbians and a couple other ones where you get to pick your moves. So you get to pick like kind of special things you can do, um, and it gives you all kinds of options to choose from. So just so you know, when we're saying playbooks, this is what we are. This is what we're talking about. And then, ta-da, we're back.
I should probably explain the setting a bit because I
That would
realized I haven't done
yeah.
that. So, Root is set in a fictional place. Of course, it's fictional. Why am I saying that? Called the Woodland, which is like its own kind of isolated country that's been around for a very long time. It's populated by all sorts of different woodland creatures, primarily birds, rabbit folk, fox folk, and mouse folk, but there's all kinds of other creatures here. Um, Basically, anything you'd find in a woodland that's wolf size or smaller. There are other things that aren't strictly humanoid creatures, like wolves, or I'm sorry, like bears or deer, for various reasons. But we don't need to get into that too much. The woodland has 12 different clearings that are their own communities dispersed through the forest. A lot of them are, well, they're all kind of, think of them like autonomous city states. They're kind of ruled their own way. For the longest time, there was a faction called the Erie Dynasty or dynasties who ruled as birds over the whole woodland. They had a big catastrophe not too long ago, which sort of created a power vacuum. And a faction called the Marquis de Cat from a different place in the woodland
Uh-oh.
What an unfortunate time. Oh no! We lost Orion. Well, while he's doing that, do we want to talk about possible playbooks for the three of us?
Yeah. Um. So I have an idea. We the only thing that we said, basically the only thing we said off camera or like before we started was we knew what uh animals type we wanted to be,
Mhm.
and we probably had names picked out. and we were all kind of leaning towards being funky little guys,
Correct.
which could mean many things.
Am
Also
I back?
Yes, you're back. How
yes,
you
you are.
feeling? You
Cool. I
Yay.
okay?
have no idea what happened.
It's
Yeah,
okay. We started talking
whatever.
about whatever playbooks we wanted to play to fill the air, but feel free to explain what you need to explain.
Yeah, so I don't know where I left off, but the
The
Marquis de Cat has come
yes.
in.
Perfect.
They are kind of a bit. They're not a royal group necessarily. Kind of a big aristocracy with its own militia that's trying to move in and kind of absorb the woodland into their own country, as it were. But in doing so, they're also trying to improve the place. They're trying to exploit its resources, but also make it like better in a sense, but ultimately to serve themselves.
They're
The Erie
gentrifying
don't
it.
like this. Yeah, honestly, that's not far off. The Erie don't like that. They consider themselves the rightful rulers, so they're pushing back. And there is a third faction that's kind of grown out of war weariness and is more like, all right, we just don't want to deal with any tyrants or inside or out of the woodland. So they call themselves the Woodland Alliance. They're kind of a grassroots organization that springs up and resists both. But they're kind of like the car chasing the dog. A lot of them have different ideas about what they want if they win, and it may end up, falling. They're kind of defined in their opposition to the other two groups. So if they are to win, who knows if they'll actually accomplish their goals or if they'll just become tyrants themselves. And then the fourth group is just the regular folks who are living through all this. Um, and the characters all play vagabonds who are not exactly agents of any particular faction totally. They can, work with and be friends or enemies with various parts of any faction. Um,
Kelly, you're the
and they're
best.
from what?
Sounds like you need
Oh, I
an
missed it.
aviary attorney.
I missed. Yes, a birdman.
Harvey.
So
Harvey.
yeah, it's up to them to kind of influence events as they are able and as they see fit, and to yeah make things better or worse for people as they choose.
Commit some
Because
war
you don't have to be
crimes.
a good guy
I know.
necessarily. You can do some bad stuff.
Look, it's not about the journey. It's about the war crimes you commit along the way.
Correct.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Jenna, you had started in on playbook stuff. Is there one that you were leaning towards at all?
I think so.
And because I knew Kylie had really wanted to do Tinkerer, and so I wanted to know what you wanted to do because I have two different ideas for a character, and they are like complete opposite ends of the spectrum. So wherever you fall, I'll take the opposite.
So the first character concept I came up with that I'm not doing was like a crow who like collected shinies and like had stuff in her feathers and was like kind of a bit of a hoarder about it. Um, and then I realized that you could be a bat, and I was like, bump that. I need to be a bat. So the only thing that I really knew was that I wanted her to have big glasses, and I really wanted to kind of lean into I have a pretty heavy glasses prescription myself, so like her really not being able to see but having very good hearing. Um, so I kind of knew that part going forward, but I think I want to go heretic.
Ooh, that's a fun choice.
So here's
Isn't that one of
kind of
the
the concept that I'm
expansion ones?
thinking of. Heretic is one of the ones in the
Yeah, in the second
in the
book.
Yeah,
expansion.
the Outsiders
Yeah,
expansion.
Yeah.
yeah. So the idea with the heretic is just that like there's some cause or belief that you have that most people don't. It's not necessarily religious. It's just like a belief. So what I'm thinking with her is that, and her name is Vesper. I think that she can't see very well, but she has like super good hearing and really actually there is like a whole kingdom of like bugs in the trees that she can hear. And so she's like adamant that really the people who really run the show are actually the bugs. Um, because she can hear them and no one else can hear them.
Fantastic.
Well, I think she's like a little bit of a conspiracy theorist and a little bit of, if you've ever seen or read Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, she's kind of a wind
Yes.
Not.
speaker, sort of.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so I envision it's very like beetle based. And that's kind of as far as I've gotten because there wasn't super anything that like really stood out to me except I thought that that would be kind of or there weren't any other playbooks that really like, oh man, that's the one I want. But I was like, heretic seems like it could be kind of, you could make a funky little guy with a heretic.
Can be a funky little guy. I love that.
True.
I think that's so fun.
But that kind of character could also really step on other character toes. So I am not like married to the idea if it's not going to gel with the group, you know?
I
Please
think
do
that
it.
100%
Yeah.
works.
And
Yeah,
like
you could
honestly,
play that in
we
ways that aren't a
yeah,
problem.
we are all here for character choices and just kind of seeing where all of it flies. We do that a lot over here. So please feel I think it's a really cool idea. I
Oh
like
yeah,
that a
for
lot.
sure.
I'm used to being in a friend groups of crazy outcasts uh, that all somehow coexist together. So I'm here for it.
I love it.
Um, as you saw, I'm leaning toward Tinker. Um, when I played this before, I played a thief, and I was like, I don't, um, I don't want to go too roguey, because I feel like that's an easy, it's an easy way to lean in the game.
Especially with a fox.
Mm-hmm.
You just make Swiper from Dora the
I
Explorer
know.
and then you're done.
So I didn't. There are a handful of classes that are very rogue esque that I wanted to try and stay away from, especially since I was making her a fox. So I chose Tinker. So it says the Tinker, an adept, clever vagabond interested in mechanisms and craftsmanship, perhaps possessed of ideas that separate you from those around you. So I like to believe that she has these huge, wild, grand ideas. Whether they're actually plausible is a completely different story. Um, but she believes one day that she's going to create some kind of master machine that's just going to make everything better for everyone. I don't know what that is yet, but I like that idea. Um, so yeah,
I love that for you. I'm just gonna write big dreams beside your character in my notes for
I
character
like
art.
I like the idea of big dreams, but then she also loves very small, intricate details.
Okay. Big
Like
dreams, small details.
she's that person that like if she comes across like something she hasn't seen before, she's like, "How does this work? I need to know all of the inner workings and like why does this do this?" And like she's got both huge ideas, but she's also very, very detailed focused too.
I like that. While we've been sitting here, I think I've actually leaned more towards one way out of my two ideas, but if we feel like the other idea like suits this more, that's also fine. I am not somebody that ever plays the like intellectual character or like anything close to it. I'm more here for chaotic goodness in whatever form I find that. But I think it would be really cute to have her because one of the areas on the map is like made up of tree houses. I think it'd be fun to have her be a ranger and to live in the treehouse place and her be like a pure like Girl Scout. like just to be here for it, here to advent. Like he's like not in like the Girl Scout way, but like is like hear about nature and like here's how you navigate a forest and here's how you build a rope ladder to get up to that tree house because that one broke and you're gonna go help somebody, and that sort of thing. Or my other idea was that she was a chronicler and was like on an adventure to like write the history of the forest, which I also thought was a very cute idea. So
Well,
I'm
the
happy either way.
the um the treehouse place, that's Limberley, right?
That's
That
Patchwood. Well, it's
Patchwood,
kind of both.
right?
Patchwood is like the wood is still kind of dense there, so it's a network of the ground. It's not like forest floor where there's nothing basically, but the trees are dense enough that you can get around with like a patchwork of rope bridges and like zip lines and stuff
Gotcha.
through the
Because
woods.
my
Limberley is like all old growth, and there's buildings like in the roots and wrapped up into the trees, and I think of
yeah,
it more like a redwood kind of area.
that's where I was thinking that Vesper would be from because that is where the bugs would have
Oh, that's fair.
kind
That
of,
they would be in there.
created. But I think it would be really fun if you and I are from the same place.
Oh, that'd
And
be
maybe
cute.
if you're a chronicle, you're like chronicling. Can I make up what they're called? They're called the Jeweled Monarchy.
Hell
Yes, they're
yes, that's
fantastic.
awesome.
Because,
They are. They
Yes.
absolutely
because
are.
it's a pun on monarch butterflies.
I mean, you just write
Um,
that down really quick because that's going in
Oh,
your character
that's
art
in my note.
somewhere.
That's pretty cool.
That's in the notes, everybody.
In the
so like,
notes.
we could be friends and you could be like chronicling if you want to.
No, honestly, I love that. And like Chronicler was the first idea I came up with a couple weeks ago, and that's like sort of what I was leaning more towards when we all jumped on the call. And then I've been looking at the playbooks and going back and forth and been like, what do I pick? Because they're both really cute. But I do think I'd like to do Chronicler because it's from the newer set of playbooks. And that's just like a new thing to explore. And I think it'd be really fun to just have like the smallest and fluffiest of animals with like 17 scrolls on her back and like a notebook and all of these things, being like, I will carry the history of the world literally on my back to go take care of everything. So yeah, let's do that. And we're from, what one was it?
You're
Patchwood is
from,
the one with the.
I
Patchwood
I was saying
or
that I was
Limberley.
from Limberley, which was the really old growth one, which
Oh
also
yes, because that's
sounds
where the bugs
bad
would live.
because it's all like trees.
Yeah, that either
So
way, I have what I need.
I was going between two. I originally thought Clutcher's Creek, but the second one I was thinking was Black Paws Dam, which is just right up the river from Limberley.
That works.
So, um, I think her background is she was originally like lived in a city. Um, but one of my background questions is why did you become a vagabond? And I'm going to choose I needed to hide my invention. So she ran away to the woodlands to hide her invention.
I
Plus,
love this.
Black Paws Dam is let me
Could you
find it.
remind me of y'all's names for your?
Yes.
I might change mine,
It's very
but
industry. It's very industry based. Black Paws Dam. So I
I
think
might
that'll be
change
good.
mine now too, now that I have a direction. But I, at least
yeah, now that I have like a better direction, I think I'm gonna change it. It's still gonna be like a naturey name though. That much I had figured out, but I feel like
I chose her name is going to be Cricket Black Thistle.
Cricket
love
is the cutest name in the world. I'm assuming you're spelling it like the bug, yes?
Yes.
Just making sure.
Wait, can you spell it? Why? I guess you can. I've never heard of it.
CRIQUIT.
There you go.
It's not the normal way, but I'll take it.
He said, "Can you spell it another way?" So I was just
Oh,
coming up with
another
another
way.
way to spell it.
I thought you said, "Can you spell it anyway?" And
No.
then you said QU, and I was like,
No, I was like, what is
That's
a
not right.
pretentious way to spell it?
Criquit. So, quits.
Yeah.
Quit. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
That's not how I'm spelling it, though. I'm spelling it like the book.
Oh, daggone it! Then I got to go back and change it again.
I told you I was just answering Ryan's question.
I think it's fun to spell it with the QU. To be fair, says the person whose parents did not spell her name correctly for any keychain in the world.
Yeah, mine spelled mine weird too.
That's all right. I like my name. I grew up
My
to like it. I
spelling
did
is
still
starting
check
to become
every
popular, though.
single cup, and keychain and everything for as long as I grew up, and don't think I gave up till about 10 or 11.
Okay, so first off, shout out Fantasy Name Generator because that's where
Correct.
all of us get our names. But
Real.
I'm looking at creepy crawly names, and
Ooh,
one of
that's
them
something
is
I
Big
for.
Willie.
That's
So maybe not that one.
absolutely terrifying.
There are so many cute names on here, and I don't know how to pick. Like, I could be Berry, I could be Paprika, I could be Wispy, I could be Lulu.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Scott. I did not mean for Nightbot to.
Nightbot got overzealous.
Nightbot got a little too excited. I am so sorry.
That's great.
Let me figure out how to fix that.
Yeah, I don't know how, but we will, because I need comments like that to be able to come through.
That was
I can't
hilarious.
see it, so I also.
It just says Big Willie,
Big
and then
Willie
it says
in all
this
caps.
this
Justice
this
deserves.
comment
Stop
was
spamming in all caps. Okay. All right.
Oh, that's just hilarious.
Spam protection.
I was like, oh, Elliot's a cute name. I've been an Elliot in a game before. I've used that name. And I'm not to the point where I'm gonna reuse it yet. I feel like I need to get through like a lot more names before I
Okay, I think I fixed it. I'm so sorry, Scott. Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Oh, the dog.
I'm so glad your dog is just as needy as my dog is.
Yep.
It makes me feel good.
Baby, not happy.
He just wants to not be down here because there's nothing going on for him.
Bless his heart.
Whereas
He said,
Henry's
"Dad,
the
I'm bored."
exact opposite. He doesn't want to
He
be
won't come down.
upstairs because we're all down here, but he won't come down the stairs.
He won't. He's terrified of our stairs. He won't come down them. We tried. We've tried multiple times. The most he'll do is put his front paws on the top step, and then he's like, "I'm done." It's like, oh, okay. It's going great. Have you found a cute name yet, Jenna?
I found a couple, which is always
This is
a
like the
problem, isn't it?
I was gonna say I have the same issue where it's like, oh, I like this one and this one and this one. They're all really cute. What am I gonna do?
Yeah. Yes.
Sunny.
What is the?
It's a cute name.
Let me look up beetle things.
Sunny.
Why do I feel so dumb?
Why?
I can't figure out where. Ah, I found it. Never mind. Ignore me.
I've already been sage. A lot of these names, I'm like, oh, that's cute, and then I'm like, I've used that one before. I'm between
There we
like
go.
berry, sunny, or lilac. I think, or lavender, maybe. Have I been a lavender? I don't think I have.
I have no idea. I don't recognize that.
I don't either. off the top of my head.
Mama Cat says Berry Sunny. That's your name.
Honestly, though, not a bad idea. And it's a pun, and I love myself a good pun. Yeah, that's it. It's Berry Sunny. Thank you, Mama Cat. But Berry is spelled with an I because I can't give my characters regular spellings of their names because I don't have a regular spelling of my name.
Uh,
9 times out of 10, it's spelled wrong.
Scott's recommendation for Jenna was carapace.
Carapace?
Carapace.
That is
We
kind
love some good puns. Very Sunny, and they're both spelled with I's because of why not?
Oh my god.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, as you should. Very Sunny. I love her already. We have Very Sunny, the Chronicler Pika, Cricket, the Tinker Fox, and then, as of right now, Vesper, but could very possibly have his name changed soon, Heretic Bat.
I feel good about
What
it.
a group. I feel great. I love what we're doing here. Very excited. Okay, now where's my playbook so I can actually decide the choices that are on a playbook that I would need to pick? There we go.
Oh yeah, we probably have more character creation to do, huh?
Just some
Look,
choices to make
names
our
are
characters.
huge.
Names are a very important part. Honestly, like, I will take at least an hour picking the right name if I really can't come up with one off the top of my head.
The denizens are just like the regular everyday people, right?
I think so.
I'm muted. Haha, I did it. Yeah, they're just the normal
Always
folks.
happens at least once a stream. Ryan will talk and he
True.
will be muted. Normally it's a top of show though, so we're really improving.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. You're doing great. I'm proud of you, bud.
Usually our problem is that I forget to unmute. So it sounds to me like things are working and then it turns out it isn't.
I do that all the time. So I am looking at factions. So for the faction I've served the most, I think I'm gonna go with the denizens.
Is that like one of your character
It's on all the
questions?
background information.
Yeah.
You should have one that you've served the most and one that you've earned a special enmity. It's toward the bottom.
Oh, okay. Got it. So is that where we're starting on sheets, since we are probably going to do all of the same parts together since Jenna's never played?
I'm so sorry. I answered the first 3 on my own because I figured that it wasn't interesting enough to share.
It's all interesting enough to share. That's why you stream a session 0.
I know. I just was like, I'll get
That's
this
how it
out
works.
of the way.
Okay, so first of all, start at the top of the character sheet, probably. Okay, so we've done name. Obviously, we all have our species. Jenna's still picking a name, but don't worry, you've got all the time in the world. And then everybody has details, right? Sorry, what are you, Jenna? Yes.
I figured out a last name.
Great.
Yay.
That's an awesome starting point.
That you're halfway there.
You are.
Yep.
What's your last name going to be?
Moonstone.
Nice.
Oh, I love
Yes.
Because I'm a
A
bat
classic.
and they're shiny like beetle wings.
Yeah. Very cool.
I'm kind of leaning towards something like Bitsy Moonstone.
That's adorable.
That is pretty great.
How would you like Bitsy spelled?
Bitsy.
Got it. I feel obligated to ask because I never spell my characters' names correctly. Okay, so now we all have names. and species and a playbook, which is a great way to go. Um, what did you pick for your details?
So for my look, um, I from my first choice I had man, woman, ambiguous, androgynous, and I chose ambiguous
Okay.
because I think she just wears a little bit of everything. Um, then I had to choose between scattered, organized, grubby, or singed, and I chose scattered.
Okay.
And then my last was like kind of like a defining thing I have. And so I could do eccentric tool belt, beautiful whetstone, former patron's insignia, or a massive pack. And I chose an eccentric tool belt.
I as soon as you read it out loud, I was like, she doesn't need to read the rest of them.
No,
That's the one she's doing.
definitely an eccentric tool belt. Right,
Fantastic.
Hours Without Sleep. I love Powered by the Apocalypse games. I love them.
So good. They're great. Highly recommend, especially this is what I recommend to all of our friends that like want to get into games. Automatically like, here's all of these games that all use the same system. I'm happy to teach you in whatever version of the game you want to play.
I like them because they're just very smooth and streamlined, like and simple.
Yeah.
Um, you can make the story as complicated as you want, but keep the mechanics simple.
Okay, Jenna, would you like to pick your details next?
Sure. Um, she. My options are unkempt, young, clear-eyed, and lithe. And I don't. Clear-eyed, I feel like doesn't quite exactly work considering like she is mostly blind and like hears very well. Um, so I don't necessarily know that those like fit exactly. So lithe maybe.
Okay.
Um, and then my things are either colorful robes, facial tattoo, token of belief, or unique jewelry. And I'm thinking unique jewelry.
I love it.
Yes.
That is like I okay, so I have two ideas. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna go with. One is like almost a have you seen those like dragon scale necklaces?
Yes.
Those, but like of like iridescent beetle wings.
Yes.
Or
Ooh.
a crown that's like butterfly wings.
I
Nice.
love both of those options.
And but I'm thinking I'm probably leaning towards the necklace because she's gonna have just oversized bat ears, like
That's fair.
just large boy bat ears. So
The
I want
biggest
that
of
to
bat
be
ears.
its own thing and not have a butterfly crown in the way. I think is what I'm gonna go with.
I love
But
that. I'm
demeanor
so excited to draw your character. I cannot even tell you how cute this is going to be.
but demeanor wise, she's passionate, so I I think that's probably more the direction that like clear eyed would mean. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that part. I don't know how that would.
Yeah, you were all good.
I
Yeah,
I'm like,
chose
whatever we come up with tonight can totally change by the time we really
yeah.
play.
I
It's
chose
fine.
inquisitive for my demeanor.
Inquisitive. Okay. I actually haven't looked at mine yet because I am writing all of the art things down. So my options are he, she, they, or shifting. I'm gonna put shifting. I use she, they pronouns anyway, so that's just what um Barry will stick with too, because it's just, for me it's much easier that way. So pretty much all my characters have she, they pronouns.
Oh,
Um,
mine was she, her. I forgot to say that, I think.
oh, yep, you are all good. I can add
Good.
it. I was gonna say I think you did, but I didn't write it down. But
I had
that
it written
is
down.
She
For
uses
Kylie,
someone
Kylie,
wrote something.
only they, them.
no, I think she uses she her pronouns. I think just physically, she's
Like she looks ambiguous. Like
yes,
her style is.
yes.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Let me tell you, I am ambiguous all the time. Me at work and me out after work are not the same person.
I get it.
They're just not. And then my next one after I finish catching up on writing, fastidious, rumpled, proper, or colorful. Oh, she's colorful. Her name is Barry. Like she's done up in like pinks and reds and is like very much um just all about a beautiful colorful life. In like writing everything about the forest, I think she like picks up on the colors of like flowers and crops and things like that and thinks those are the most fascinating things because she's lived in the trees her whole life, so green is not really like a fascinating color anymore. It's more everything else. So she'll be colorful. And then old scrolls, letter of introduction, small glasses, or vest with secret pockets. um I think I'm gonna go with the vest with secret pockets. I don't know how I'm gonna draw it yet, but it's gonna be great. It's probably gonna be very strawberry inspired, and I'm excited about it.
So it makes me think. I I was in a theater production, and I found this beautiful like green, like dark forest green brocade, like long duster coat to wear for my character out of all of their costuming. But what I didn't realize until we started trying to run the scenes with costumes was it was actually originally made for a production of Oliver they did. And it was oh god, what is his name? Who kind of uh runs all of the little street urchins. Um, and in the back, it had all of these pockets all the way down to the floor for them to come pull like handkerchiefs out of during one of the numbers. And I always caught my heel in it. Anytime I would step back, I'd catch my heel in all of these pockets. But at the same time, I hid things in the pockets so that I had them on stage and I didn't have to go off stage to get them.
Fantastic. I think I kind of had like an epiphany within your little story. I think what she's gonna like look like is she's very much going to dress sort of like in a way of like she's got a little short sleeve button up with her vest over it. It's all very pink, and she has a little bow tie, and um, for her demeanor, clumsy and thoughtful are both on here as like choices, and my answer to that is why not both. So she's clumsy and thoughtful. Like she's very sweet, has no coordination about her, is carrying a bajillion writing things on her person. And I think she's just gonna be real cute and adorable. So if we would like to move on to background, because I know Kylie's done part of it, so I will ask for your answers for your first three, at least first.
Okay, so where do you call home? Technically, a place far from here is the one I chose. Um, why did you become a vagabond? And I chose I need to hide my invention. Um,
That's so
I
ominous.
know.
It is
I
honestly
like to
like
think though that it's probably the idea of an invention. Um,
it's just blueprints hidden
yeah,
somewhere in
like
the
she's
forest.
made this like intricate blueprint of this invention. Um, and this going off of that, who have you left behind? And I chose my leader. I think that there was probably a small group of foxes. Um, so part of this is based off the fact my mother's home was on this semi busy road in my hometown. And every summer at night, if you were driving down this curvy road, there was this one house that had like a big like hill of a front yard, and at night there was this little family of foxes that would always be playing in this front yard. And by the summer they would always have baby foxes with them, and they were my favorite. So I like the idea of this group of foxes that live together in the city, and I think the leader didn't thought that her ideas were too dangerous. Not that he like banished her, but was like, you can't, you got to give it up, and she didn't want to, so that's why she got out of Dodge.
I love
Um, which faction have you served the most? I'm gonna say the denizens because I think that she got to Black Paws Dam, which is a very industrial little hamlet in the woodlands. And I think she just wanted to help everybody. So she was like, oh, if I make this, it'll make things easier. I don't know what to choose with which faction have you earned a special enmity.
I don't either.
There's a part of me that was like maybe the Erie Dynasty because they're kind of set in their ways. They want it, it's more of the like old school, how traditionally how things are supposed to go. I don't think the Marquisette would dislike all of the inventions she's making. In fact, I think they would be in favor of it to an extent. So I think I'm gonna say the Erie Dynasty, who I've earned some enmity with.
Maybe that's how we're friends. Because I feel like I don't like the Erie Dynasty because they eat bugs.
They would do that.
They would.
Yeah. I honestly don't think they would very much like me either, just because like people set in their old ways don't really love when people want to rewrite history to like explain what actually happened. I wouldn't know anything about that in real life, obviously, but it seems like it would maybe fit the story well. So I think we just all have that, and then that's maybe like obviously Jenna and I connect because we live in the same place, but that's like a easy tie-in point for all of us. Is like I don't think I like those people, or those people don't like me. We're both.
Okay, I gotta mark my reputation trackers from those.
Yep. And then I am going to find a place on my sheet.
You know how that works, by the way?
Yes,
because it can be confusing. I had to read it.
Start where it's got 0, right?
Yeah.
And so it says to put 2 with the group that you've helped the most. So I'm gonna add 2. I'm gonna color in 2 to the right.
Yeah, just 2 boxes, not the 2 actual levels.
And then I'm just gonna do the opposite for
notoriety.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So -1 to the other side.
Yes. Okay, got it.
Nobody likes the Erie.
Correct.
They're very fun to play in the board game.
I've never played that.
You have to just brief aside, with them you have to set up your cards so that you have to execute your turn in a specific order in like a specific kind of clearing. And if you can't do that, then you face like really harsh consequences and set yourself back. But if you can manage to do that without falling apart, you just steamroll the board.
Nice.
It's fun.
Essentially, it's like, what is the most bulldozery way to win this game? That one. Perfect.
But yeah, they're just like in this, they're inflexible and the most regressive. They're like, it's our right to rule. You don't get to. We rule because we rule.
Jenna, have you thought about your background, or do you want me to go while you still think? Either way is totally fine.
I've thought of some of it. So mine, we talked about this. Where do you call home? We talked about Leverly. What is the fundamental tenets of my cause? And I'm allowed to pick 2 of them. So I think to so I have some options here, but I don't want to overlap with you too much. Like I want us to be like friendly, but not the same.
We don't have the same questions, if that helps you at all.
It does, but one of my options is like to destroy a falsehood. So if you're like, I'm gonna write the true history. I don't want to make my character about like uh the truth of like, and then have that be like a thing that we both do.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe to exalt the worthy and to unseat the corrupt. So like the bugs are really the true worthy rulers, and uh, screw those birds. They don't deserve it.
True.
And then why am I a vagabond is so my options are make amends for my past, bring my truth to all, seek greater understanding, or I'm being hunted by the powerful. And I feel like
Ooh.
being hunted by the powerful sounds like a fun thing, but I don't
I mean, the
have
birds don't like you. The birds are the powerful. Like,
right, but I don't know what I did to piss them off.
you're telling everybody they don't deserve to be rulers because the bugs do. I feel like
Yeah.
birds would maybe get a
Were
little
you
mad.
were
Which
you a
really would not
soapboxer in like the town squares?
probably. But I feel like it's not even just that they would, it's not even just like dethroning the birds because birds eat bugs. So we, if like the bugs were the ones that were in charge, then the birds would have to like completely change their diet and lifestyle and everything. So this is like problem for them.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I specifically like did to piss them off. So that part I still need to think about. And then another one is who have I left behind? My family, my devotee, my guru, my secret love. I want to say probably my guru.
I love it.
And uh I think my guru's it's got to be a bug, right? It's got to be a bug.
It's got to be a bug.
I mean,
1,000%.
yeah.
For the record, you can just make up whatever you want for that. I will absolutely support it. Say there's like a giant beetle living somewhere in the forest that like only you have ever met. I don't know, man. Just go nuts.
I mean, you're
Something.
talking about the DM that let me say that I'd like to flavor my feline agility with it snorting catnip and running away, and he was like,
Right,
"Yeah, I think that's
obviously.
great."
I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of those bugs that like looks like a leaf.
Oh yeah.
So like
Yes.
which just kind of plays into like other people don't always believe me, but like it's obviously a bug. And I think that like Bitsy doesn't notice that it looks like a leaf because she can't freaking see.
Oh, that's fair.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's moving, like right there. How do you not like just clock that, right?
That makes
Um,
me think of the Bluey episode with the leaf bug.
We love Bluey in this house.
There are no children in this house. We love Bluey.
okay. And then the last one, which faction is known to hate those who share my cause? I think we've pretty well established that that's the birds. And then which faction is known to harbor those who share my cause? Probably just the regular people, I would think.
I think you could also make an argument for the Woodland Alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because that's like a hodgepodge. Yeah, because they're a little bit of everything.
Because, like, they want to get rid of the others. And, like, your motives are your own, but you want the same kind of end if you wanted to go that route.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, let's do that one. Let's do that one.
Fantastic.
This is coming together.
Inspired by Kelly, I under your thing I just wrote hate burbs.
Which
you
I
hear
think,
my
now that I think about it, is probably a thing for her. She's a bat, but maybe bats are not as common. So if someone calls her a bird, she's like,
excuse
not,
me.
not a bird, not a bird. Fruit bat. We eat fruit, not a bird.
um, so for mine, obviously, I'm also from Limberley. And then I am going to do just like you said earlier, and like I like talked about earlier in like the thing. I'm gonna use I swore an oath to record the true unbiased history. Um, and then if my mouse will show back up again, that'd be lovely. Oh, who inspired your love of history? I want to say that it was my parents. I think that they recorded like the last version of the history of the forest like years and years ago. And now that like so much has happened since, it is now Barry's turn to go out and do the same thing. It's like the family lineage is to go write the history of the forest. So I'm gonna use my parents, and then the faction. Um, which faction have you served the most? Obviously, hate to the birds. So it would have to be somebody else. Um, and like I am kind of also between the denizens and the woodland alliance, just because the woodland alliance is basically like, hey, these people not so great, maybe we write down everything that they did so people don't let things like this happen again. Or is it like the denizens and being like on behalf of like just the people that live here to write like the true history of what's happened? I'm kind of leaning to the second one. That feels more correct, I think. Probably. Yeah, let's go with that. Why not? If I swear to God.
So wait,
Okay,
which one
there we go.
did you pick? Sorry.
I'm gonna do the denizens just because to me it makes a little bit more sense. So unbiased history, and then my parents, and then no birds. Yes, general population.
Gen Pop.
Gym pop. Eventually, I will actually like write this all on a character sheet, but for right now, all this lives in a think cloud on my iPad, much like the map of Pantria did in its very first iteration, where no one could read it but me.
I
Um,
do the same thing.
yeah, I just can't. I can't do it. Um, do we want to do drives? So, like right under the character, there are drives, and you choose two of them for yourself,
Uh,
or is it different on other
I
character
have
sheets? And
no, it's
connections.
you'll have different drives, but everyone will have drives
Oh, I have
because it's how you
connections
advance.
at the bottom under all of that.
no, like, oh, you are you using the quick start version of a character sheet? Is that why?
Maybe?
Do you have drives on there, or do I need to
You'll
send
have
you the?
drives
Yeah, but
somewhere
it's
for
on
sure.
page 2.
Oh, okay. Yours is just organized different than ours then,
You
because
get it
ours
wrong.
has it right underneath the character portrait, which is why I was very confused
Oh,
for a second.
okay. Mine's different.
Do we care to skip to that part?
That's fine.
Do you care to skip down? Um, who would like to pick their drives first? Or we can obviously like just do the whole discussion thing like we've done the whole time.
And
I
if you have questions
assume that
about
we have
those, I
different
can
ones.
provide more info. There's like specifically, it'll break down what those mean in the book.
It's got like a short explanation, but it may not have the full thing that you have.
Yeah,
Um,
And they like give you advances, which is why it's important to pick them.
right.
does everyone have choose to? I don't want to say that
Yeah,
Yes.
everyone has
you
it if
help
they
choose
don't.
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
my choices are greed, ambition, revenge, or protection. I only really like protection, but I guess I will.
Say those one more time.
Greed, ambition, revenge, and protection. I know I'm going to do protection. And I think I will also do ambition. So ambition, you advance whenever your reputation increases with a faction. And protection says name your ward. You advance when you protect them from significant danger or when seasons turn and your ward is safe.
That's nice. I like that one.
Revenge could
I
be fun too.
yeah.
That is fair. I'll do that one instead of ambition.
Look, everybody likes revenge sometimes. It's a great time. Highly recommend. I for my drives am going to do justice and discovery. So I get an advancement when I achieve justice for somebody that has been wronged by a powerful, wealthy, or high status individual, and I advance when I find a new wonder or ruin within my travels of the forest.
I lied. I'm going to do ambition and revenge.
Who cares
My
about protection?
my options are principles, protection, freedom, and chaos. And I think I'm going to go with freedom and chaos. So I am like an anarchist uh,
Little
bug
anarchist bat.
heretic.
Little anarchist
Louis,
revolutionary bat.
yeah, these are very normal things to be. So freedom is advance when you free a group of denizens from oppression, and chaos is advance when you topple a tyrannical or dangerously overbearing figure in order.
Honestly,
Order.
like that is kind of a 2-for-1 deal. Like this sounds very
My
much
two
like
most
you can do
famous
it all at
drives.
once. So good.
Yeah, I was thinking of choosing one of those and then doing principles, which is advance when you express or embody your moral principles at great cost to yourself. And then I was like, it's not really a moral principle. So let's just do the two fun ones.
It's like I'm writing down my reputation really quick because I will forget to to mark it. Rep -1, 2 burps, +2 to population to gym pop. All right, what section should we be going over next? Somebody tell me.
Well, next is connections, as far as I can see.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine with me.
You have natures too.
Yeah, natures are also on here. Whichever one you all want to do first is fine.
Everyone should have one of two natures.
Oh, my natures are. I can start then because mine is either believer or healer. Healer is being the kind of like dignitary that makes people make peace with each other.
That doesn't
Man.
sound like you. Believer it
Well, instead,
is.
clear my exhaustion track when I publicly call out a symbol or authority dedicated to beliefs opposing mine.
Nice.
I feel like that'll come up a lot, honestly. I feel
It
like
very
that's
well
probably an
could.
easy one.
I don't know what to do for mine.
What are your choices?
Okay, so my first choice is perfectionist. You clear your exhaustion track when you sacrifice others' interests to complete a project or craft, which I think is hilarious. Like in the midst of like some kerfuffle, and she's like, "Hold on, I gotta fix this first. You guys, hold on, I'll be there in a minute." And she
Yep.
just focuses on what she's doing. The other is radical. You clear your exhaustion track when you espouse dangerous ideas to the wrong audience.
That sounds like it's going to happen
You're
to us
both
because
funny.
of us.
What's the name of that one again?
Radical.
Fantastic.
I love that so much.
I know. Exactly, being a blabbermouth. Exactly, Star Drew. I think I'll go radical.
Yeah. I already wrote it down. I knew that's what you were going to pick.
Honestly, I thought I was gonna do perfectionist. Because I just think it would be hilarious for her to just be completely tunnel visioned in on something while every like chaos is erupting
Everything
around
else.
her.
The
And
whole
she's-
forest is on fire, and she's like, but this gear looks cool.
This, I gotta fix it.
Yep. I think I'm going to do observer. So clear your exhaustion track when you enter a dangerous situation to try to witness a significant or secret event or meet an important individual. Because my other one is about like telling people why they should change things, and I was like, no, she's not really here for that. She's more like, what choices have you all made? Cool, I'm gonna write those down. I'll get back with you in a minute. So I think that will be my nature. The more we do this, the more excited I am for this game.
Sweet.
Okay, should we go ahead and do connections so that at least on Jenna and I's version of it, it's like the first page is then filled out, and then we'll go ahead and take a break and come
Yeah.
back and do more.
Yeah, sure.
That sounds good.
So these are out of each other, yes, correct? Right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, your connections are to each other.
So I have my first one is professional. It says Blank and I have been working together well for a while. We read each other's moves easily. If you share information with them after reading a tense situation, you both benefit from the +1 for acting on the answers. If you help them while they are attempting roguish feats, you gain choices on the help move as if you had marked 2 exhaustion when you mark 1. So basically you just get bonuses out of it. I think I am going to choose Mal's character for that one.
Thanks.
This does, I don't think we've said it, by the way, this does assume that you guys have been running together for a bit. And
Yeah. It seems like that's
You
kind
aren't
of how
just
we set
meeting each
ourselves
other.
up anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's generally easier and better to do that for any game, really.
Yeah.
With the burbs hating us, it seems only
Yeah.
fair.
And then my second one is family. So it'll be Jenna's character and I had each other's back when we were run out of a clearing because our natures got out of hand.
That sounds right.
That's actually kind of perfect because the one that I was going to put for you is called Watcher. So, Cricket was once hurt greatly by someone who shared my cause. Because I was thinking, like, you have a revenge thing, right? Like, maybe something happened.
I get it. What
I love that.
did you decide on your name?
Bitsy.
Bitsy.
I think I am going to go with Bitsy. Yeah, Bitsy
That's so
Moonstone.
good.
Like Itsy Bitsy.
S-I or S-Y?
SY.
S-Y.
Bitsy. Okay.
Bitsy, Berry, and Cricket. What a party.
And then the other one I have is Protector. So Barry has come to share my beliefs. I must stand with them no matter the cost.
I am so excited to believe in the bugs, man. And honestly, that also works out perfectly because one of mine is Peer. And I was going to pick Bitsy for it. And it says, I think Bitsy sees the truth of the world and I value their perspective deeply. What kinds of information do they see that I may overlook? So if you share information with them after reading a tense situation, you both benefit from the +1 for acting on answers. If you help them while they attempt a roguish feat, you gain choices on the help move as if you'd mark 2 exhaustion when you mark 1. And you picked me for that, yeah? Right? That's the same as... Perfect. Then I am picking you for that. So now we all benefit from it in some sort of fun way. And then for partner, which would be Cricket, Cricket and I exposed a dark secret of a faction leading to a meaningful political change. What was it, and which member of that faction hates us for it? When you fill in this connection, you each mark 2 prestige with the faction you helped and mark 2 notoriety with the faction you harmed. During play, if you are spotted together, then any prestige or notoriety gained with those factions are doubled for the 2 of you.
Nice. I love the idea that we probably both did not mean to do any of that.
Correct. It was completely an accident.
I was like, oh, but like if I built this thing, that'll help. And you were like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna like document you building it, like
Yeah.
how it helps the people, and then all of a sudden we
And
both do
somehow
something
we
we were
pissed
not
somebody off
prepared for.
so bad.
So who likes us and who hates us?
I love it. I love the idea that the Erie
Hate us?
hate us.
Correct. That's exactly where I wanted to
Because
go
I was
with
like,
it.
I know you've always done it this way, but what if you did
But
it
what if?
this way?
You mean that like you won't believe in our new stuff because your old stuff is so precious to you? What a shock. So
It
my
would be easy
partner's
to expose secrets for them too, because they're, it's an old group and there's a lot of like power families that are vying for control all the time. So it'd be easy to stir up shit. That's part of the reason why they collapsed, is because infighting.
I love that.
Infighting, inbreeding,
The two monarchy things that they do. That's it.
Habsburg Empire right there, baby.
Infighting and
Inbreeding.
yeah.
It happens.
And then I would think the denizens would be who like us.
The ones that like us? Yeah, I think so. I think it's good for the denizens and bad for the burbs.
Well, and we already established from my background questions that the denizens harbor people who share our cause. So
Yep. We're doing great. Honestly, this all worked out really well to have the three of us and they all just sort of triangle like that in like this perfect fashion. That was great. Good. Bad. Bad for
So,
burbs.
questions moving forward then. From my backstory and the bonds that Bitsy has with Cricket, something question mark happened that the birds freaking hate me specifically and also us. Like something big enough happened that we're on the radar. Something bad happened to Cricket in that situation, because my bond says, let me just read it. Was once hurt greatly by someone who shared my cause. Why do I think I might still win them over? And what have I already tried to do to earn their trust? So, like, Cricket has some, like, battle scars from this. Cricket is not entirely on board with the Bug Kingdom.
Poor Cricket.
Because something happened.
I wonder if Cricket was creating something and someone thought that I was like encroaching on where the bugs were, or like
We have an idea,
yeah.
but this is your character, so you get to decide if it's yes or no. But what if something that you made basically worked like a bug zapper? And like you weren't doing it on purpose, but like that was like part of it.
It was like a side effect, essentially.
Yeah.
Like it's like when people are
Yeah,
like,
that's kind of where I was going to, is that something was, from Cricket's point of view, was unintentionally hurting the bugs. It was just a side effect, and somebody got very angry and tried to stop her in a violent fashion. And so that's why she's kind of
somebody would be.
Okay, cool. Yeah, bugs. Great.
She's like, I can be here for bugs. Sure. I love it so much. Okay, so that is halfway through our character sheets. If we want to take a small break,
Yeah.
we all have ADHD here, people. We need a minute to breathe. Which we're trying to be better about, because a lot of times we forget that breaks exist on this show. So are we good to take a 5-minute?
Yeah, we'll take a
Cool.
take a 5 and be right back.
Sure.
Everybody,
Yeah.
go get a drink.
Go get
Refill your
snacks.
snacks. Take a bio break. We'll be back in just a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
And we are back.
Heck, I forgot
Hello,
we did not go
friends.
anywhere. We were looking at
We did.
onesies, like adult feety pajamas on Amazon.
We sure were.
That's all we were doing.
Yeah,
Doing things.
we're being great adults today. Don't worry. So we're gonna like just do a portion of this back, or the second part of the character sheet, only because some of it is like big discussion that's a lot of math, and it's 10:40 or 10:54. So we're gonna do it in the week between. We'll explain that part to you when we come back next week. But I do think we want to all go ahead and say what roguish feats we've got, and then weapon skills. I think is what we've decided on. So, who would like to share their roguish feats first? Because I wasn't aware that everybody got these, and I'm very excited.
I think these are shared options between everybody.
Um, my sheet says start with your marked feats, and so it's got like a list of 9, and 3 of them are marked off for me.
Yeah.
Mine just gave me 3. I don't have like a choice. They're like,
Yeah, I don't
you
know why
start
you
with
don't have a
these.
list. You don't have like the list though to
You
show you all
guys-
of them either.
yeah,
we
you
have
guys
like
I think
got
you're
it.
working with like a quick start sheet.
I was, and then I pulled up the one that's in the actual book, and it's still not as detailed as the newer classes.
Yeah, as
that
the
they added.
outsiders.
We'll figure that out.
So I start with counterfeit, disabled device, and picklock.
Sweet.
I start with counterfeit, disabled device, and pickpocket.
Nice.
I start with counterfeit and sleight of hand. I only get 2.
Oh.
Yeah, not everybody gets the same amount. The
So-
It's because
Question.
bugs will
someone get one.
Is it that only we can do those feats, or we add them to the group? Because if so, it doesn't make sense that we all have counterfeit.
Yeah.
I
I think it's something that you can pull off.
it's something ourselves we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
But,
any of us
like,
could counterfeit. Me
when-
or Kylie could disable device. I'm the only one that can pickpockets.
But like with the
Right.
connections, so like if someone's doing the roguish feat and you're helping them, like you guys get the extra +1s and stuff through that.
Technically speaking, anybody can do any one of those. It's just if you don't have it, you're doing what's called trusting fate, which is a different role.
Okay.
And it usually involves more consequences,
Okay.
especially if you fail.
I was gonna say, I promise you that I will never try acrobatics in this game because it will not go well. My poor little Pika will hit the ground and it will be very sad. And then we each mine says choose one bolded weapon skill. I don't know if everybody has just one or if some people have more than one.
Yep.
Okay. So out of my 4, I can do confuse senses, improvise, parry, or trick shot. I personally feel like she's more of a talker than a fighter. So I really think confuse senses or improvise are my most fun choices. If either of you want to take one of those, I'll take the other, though. I don't know what everyone's list looks like.
Mine are cleave, harry, improvise, and trick shot. And I'm leaning toward improvise for her.
That would make sense for you, I think.
Mine is cleave, disarm, quick shot, and storm a group. I do not know what storm a group means.
Ryan, what does
Let
storm a group?
me get you some info on that.
Because I truly don't know what that one means. I don't have it bolded, so I can't take it, but it sounds very interesting.
Because I read through these and I forget. I think it has to do with like taking a group in combat like all at once. But let me see here.
Just this little bat storming up to a whole group of people, beating all of them to the ground. It'd be great.
Well, I have. I was, yeah, it would be cool if I had Bat Sonic Blast, but that is one of. I mean, Barry could do a Sonic Blast, but I can't.
Yeah. So storming a group is The greater description here is when you storm a group of foes in melee, mark exhaustion and roll with might, and on a hit, trade harm with the enemy. On a 10 plus, you can choose two options from the list. On a 7 to 9, you can choose one. So you can inflict morale harm on them. You can keep them off balance and confused, inflicting exhaustion. Um, you can avoid their blows to the best of your ability, or you can use them against each other and mark exhaustion again and let them like hit them with each other, have them hit each other instead of you.
Mm-hmm. I have 0 might, so I feel like
That might not be your best call.
yeah, so I think I'm actually gonna do a quick shot because I feel like more of a guerrilla warfare, like fly in, fly out,
Yeah,
target, you know.
that seems to fit better.
So that's what I'm thinking.
I think I'm gonna go with confused senses because I went ahead and found it in the rule book, and it's basically like, hey, whatever you've got on you or around you,
Pocket sand.
go for it. Yeah, pocket sand. I would like to pocket sand, please. So I'm going to go with.
I mean, you have a
confused senses.
vest with many pockets.
I do with a lot of secret pockets. You know what's in those pockets? Pocket sand. I have
Every
all
single
of
one
out.
is pocket sand.
Yep.
Sand
I honestly-
pockets all the different
all
places.
the time.
One of the things that made me like this game as I was reading through it was the fact that you just have like a track that's effectively the hit points for your extra stuff. Like, oh, I need this thing. Mark depletion and have it.
Great. It's yours now. Congratulations.
I like that about Blades in the Dark too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love getting with Blades in the Dark and the flashbacks, getting to be like, I'm gonna flashback. I definitely packed this.
Blades is one of my favorite things. I feel like anytime I'm
It
talking
is.
about game design or someone else is talking about game design where they're like, oh, I wish it did this, I'm like, well, there's this thing in Blades in the Dark where you can.
It is one of my all-time favorite
Blades in
systems.
the Dark is great.
What are
I've
y'all
played
gonna add your
once.
plus
I was
one to?
horrible at it.
Oh, sorry.
I am
No, you're
100% adding it to charm because I currently have a -1.
Also me. Yes, I'd like to even my score out. I need her to be a little likable, and her charm being a -1 is upsetting. She has on a strawberry bow tie. People need to like her.
I have a +2 cunning and a +1 finesse though, which I'm super pumped about.
I do too. I think we have the same like
block.
stat block.
Could be.
Very cool.
So I have +2 charm, +1 luck, and I think I'm actually just gonna add my +1 to luck and just fully send it on
Nice.
charm and luck. Like just be
That's fantastic. I love it.
just be the one shouting from the rooftops and never seemingly getting caught about it. Just
I love
feels
it.
very
You know what?
right.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna lean into it.
Are we leaning into the things we're bad at? Because I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Where are you
lean
putting
in.
yours?
I'm bad at finesse, and I feel like that makes sense
I'm
because
going to add my +1 to finesse.
Oh, so you're
that
just,
I
like,
have
better
a
at it?
+2 cunning and a +2 finesse.
what is your -1s?
Charm.
Charm.
Both of you? Okay.
But I'll keep mine then, and I'll zero out across the board so we still have like very different stat blocks. Since we seemingly have like the one in the beginning, because my only other option was I thought about keeping the -1 to charm and taking a +1 to luck. Because there's no way in the world that my little Pika would be able to pick up anything that is bigger than her. So might is not the way to go. But I think I'll go ahead and keep it in charmed and just make it a 0. Because in her idea, she was like, I have to get a little bit better at talking to people because then important people will be okay to talk to me. And
Fair.
if I'm going to master writing like the history of this place, I need people to want to talk to me.
I need to look at equipment.
To answer your question there, 5 Foot Latina, they can be polite about it. Kind of depends. Some will be like, I challenge you to a duel, and others will be like, let's have a bar brawl with my 8 closest friends and just you. Like there are mechanics with There are absolutely mechanics for fighting groups in this, so
Yeah.
it's also interesting to
A
me.
bar brawl with my 8 closest friends. Why do I feel like I've played that character?
Yeah. It's got to be somewhere, man. Uh, 'cause- yeah, we're gonna do moves off screen just because some of us have a lot to pick from, and they're big paragraphs,
Yeah.
and I can't do all this math right now. It's like you get this, or you get this, or you get this. Can't be done. Also, we are going to look at the optional rules that Ryan had mentioned earlier in between weeks too, of like your animal type gets you things.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there stuff you can do for that?
Yeah.
And stuff I can make up because it sounds fun. Also, we're going to start in Patchwood, I've decided.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wrote
The
that.
sister city.
I was like, what might things be like in, a place where the trees are, where it's still kind of a forest? And I wrote that and I was like, this sounds delightful. Like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
right? When I came across the description, because I'm working on like a fully fledged map for everything, when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's all tree houses. And I drew the two little cutest tree houses I've ever seen.
Tree
Very
houses and
excited
bee
about it.
farms.
I
Yep.
feel like, okay, first of all, I love that. And second, this character has gone so completely in a different direction than I thought. I thought I was going to play a spooky cleric because she was a bat. And that's not what happened.
And now here we are.
And that's okay.
I love
That's
her.
the
I
best.
truly love
Well, she's not
Bitsy
even named
burying her
Vesper
kids.
anymore. So Vesper can be a spooky cleric, and
Yeah.
Itsy Moonstone is like crazy. I
different.
don't know.
Yeah. She's perfect. I think Bitsy is wonderful. And I love her. I'm so excited to do all this character art. It's gonna be so cute.
This is gonna be so good.
It's gonna be a good time.
I'm stoked. It'll be a fun time. There's going to
You
be
do the
3
character
very
art
good
on stream?
characters.
Do you art
Um,
streams about it?
Nor I don't normally do it. I usually post updates in Discord of being like, hey, just so you know, this is where we're at right now. Like for Carpe Diem, I did all of it in real time. I was like, hey, here's this, here's this, here's this. Carpe Diem characters were super simple though, because they were in the style of Bluey, so I could draw each one in about a half hour. And then I would be like, here you go. Take it. These are a little more complicated than that, but that's okay.
All right. Thank you for joining us tonight
I think
for
that's
our
the end.
lovely session 0. We'll go around real fast and say what's going on. Jenna, since you are our guest this season,
You get to go first.
what's going on?
Me. My name is Jenna. I'm one of the co-founders of Fem Gamer Party, and if you have met any other of us from Fem Gamer Party, it's all the same thing. So I guess mainly if you don't have anything going on Sunday night around 8 p.m. Eastern, we play our ongoing campaign, and it's so good. It brings joy to my life.
Aw.
And also, I wrote a game. It's called Siren Squad, and in it, you are a rainbow mermaid secret agent, and you and your friends use the power of friendship and teamwork to save the world. So, if you like that and ocean puns and fun little ocean friends, then you should check out my game on itch.
It's
super fun.
Mal
We
and I
got to play it for December, and it was
in
great.
December, and it was the best.
It was so good.
I'm glad you liked it. Just the beta is out right now. I am almost finished writing and laying out the final one, but then I had to move my whole life because we bought a house. So
That's fair.
It's a lot.
it happens like that sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll go because I don't have anything interesting. Hi, my name's Kylie. You can find me just about anywhere on the internet at Viking_mermaid. Oh, why didn't you Streamlabs? You're dumb. Stop it. There's my link tree. Most of my stuff
redacted.
All my stuff's on my link tree. I am here on Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays for our Isle of Inspiration homebrewed Muppet Born campaign, where we all play Muppets who are trying to find Jim Henson. And I play Rebel the Oath of Vengeance paladin, whose Oath of Vengeance is against existing because she didn't ask for it. Um, it's so much fun. She's an angsty teen Muppet, and it's a good time. And then I'm here on Wednesdays for Roots. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Ryan, what have you got going on?
I love that
I'm
I'm going
here.
last.
I'm doing this. And also Muppets on Mondays, where I play Booker, who likes reading and doesn't really understand a whole lot of what's going on yet, but I don't think any of us do.
We're
We're
only
along for
like
the ride. We're
3
having a good
hours
time.
old.
Look, honestly, like getting younger by the minute if you ask Dixie how old we are, because she has no idea how time works. Um, just nothing. There's nothing up there.
You're right. It is the Avenue Q Muppets looking for Jim.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Very
It's
real.
all of us, the Avenue Q, looking for Jim. Um, so then there's me, I guess. Hi, I'm Mallory. And on this show, I will play Barry. But on other shows, I'm on Muppets as Dixie May, who's the little cow Circle of Dreams druid with no thoughts in her head except for how to be nice to people. On Tuesdays, I not this upcoming Tuesday, but starting in the Tuesday after that, I am on Dragonlance over on Eric Frankhouse Presents A Song of Lance and Fire. Um, and I play Everin Blackmire, who is um, a Circle of Destruction cleric. Or sorry, not a circle, destruction domain cleric. That's how you name a cleric. And then on Fridays, I am on Ladies of Lake, and this Friday is a super fun episode over on Fem
I
Gamer
totally
Party.
forgot about Lake. I'm on Lake too.
I did too. I'm supposed to plug my own channel, and then I didn't. Please
Okay,
come watch us
I'll
on
do it
Lake.
for everybody.
There you
Jen
go.
is one of the wonderful founders of that channel. Kylie is on the regular cast with me, but this Friday is a very special episode. We're doing a bunch of like flashbacks and vignettes for all of the characters to get to know them in like a flash forward or a flashback or whatever. And this season for Henley, part of her storyline is about her ex-girlfriend Sky and how she lost her. So this episode this Friday is the night that Sky and Henley met, which is super exciting and fun. And I get a girlfriend. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's Candace, that Candace girl, Candace Magnificent, depending on her socials. Um, is playing Sky, and then Sam and Cher, who are over on Fem Gamer Party quite a bit, are coming in to play our wing women for the night to try to get us together. It's gonna be super fun. I'm like over the moon about it. I also write and have written Memory Lane, and it is in final layout form, along with like those couple sections I have to finish rewriting. So it's getting there. And I wrote a game called Remember Us that is currently up on itch, and I'm in the middle of writing 2 more games that will somehow be up there at some point. I keep having ideas right before I go to bed, and they end up in my notes app, and then someday they get transferred to Notion, and then they get written. And that is how all of this works. It's the only way I know how to write, apparently. But I think that's it. I think that's end of show. We will be back on Monday for the second episode of Act 2 of Muppet Born the Isle of Inspiration. And we've got some really fun things coming up. We in a on the finale of Muppets we'll announce the next show, but there's a lot of pre-production going into it. So we're also running
I'm
ragged
so
with that.
excited.
I am so excited. This is going to be the biggest thing I've pulled up, and it's for my birthday. Like it is literally, it is what I'm streaming for my birthday. I told Kylie, I was like, I want to make a show that is so cool, and we're gonna start it. So it'll either start the day of my birthday or the week, like directly following my birthday, depending on timing for Muppets. And I'm so excited. It's gonna be so cool. But yeah, we're gonna see you on Monday, everybody. And we're gonna go get some sleep. So enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for coming to hang out. We'll see ya. We'll see you then.
Good night.
Bye.
Ye-